hate, which is not a requirement to go to heaven. It is not a requirement. So we can just kick that one to the side and continue on with what we know that are the requirements, which are love, which that's something that we should do for one another. So here was what I came up with this morning, right before I got into understanding what it was that we're actually doing here. And so I sat down and I was thinking about what this is all about. This whole thing that we're doing is all about sustainability. Being able to have a sustainable life will create the type of personal connection and personal confidence that we have with one another. It is something that if my food is taken care of, it seems like nothing else in the world I would have to even think about except, the other requirements of my life cycle and the things that I do. The other thing is that it draws education to how to take care of yourself when you're thinking about sustainability. What does that entail? How do I do that? So we're already talking to the colleges and getting them involved. We're talking to the high schools because they already have agricultural programs within the high school, also for the colleges. But we're trying to take it from the college project to a sustainable food project for our community, and that people could go to and be able to get food from, that the school systems themselves can actually use that food in their school systems and not have to look for food outside of that. They can take what they grow in their backyard and be able to use it immediately in the school system. And so we're wanting to emulate this attitude of giving and caring for one another, starting with our children, which we're trying to plant the seeds for our future generations so that they learn now what we have forgotten, which is the heartbeat and the love is the earth and where we come from. In the beginning, there was nothing but the garden. That's how people got down. That's how they ate. That's how they loved one another. It was in the garden. That's where everything happened. At the end of this lifetime, as it says in the Bible, that we will end up having something like a garden. The tree of life will be introduced once again, and that the trees will bear their fruit every single month. It won't be like seasonal. Well, right now what's been given to us is that opportunity to have a non-seasonal type of atmosphere with what I designed and brought together as a grow shed, going back to the native way of doing things in the ecosystem and putting it all together with the technology that we have today. And so I wanted to share this again with you because I sat down and I talked with Mary and I sat down and I talked with Val, and we came to a conclusion that this is something that is needed, not just for every day, but somewhere that Pinch can throw in their hat and say, hey, listen, we agree with something like this and we agree that this needs to be out there. So we wanted to come up with a plan, not based on what I desired or what I wanted, but to include you and to understand that we're all included in it. It's going to take an effort of everyone and not just one person or not just one group. And so we wanted to come up with a way to be able to use this system and put it out in the public that it has the effect that it needs to have through the action of just taking care of one another and loving one another. And so the other part is this takes care of the environment. It's a self-sustaining system. And so it's something that we can actually use over and over and over again without burning out our electricity or burning out of something that won't sustain us. So it's something that has been technically and scientifically proven, not just here in our area, but also in the northern part of America, where they have to do different types of gardening so that they can sustain themselves in the shorter summer months because they have longer winters than we do. And the other part is the cultural of all of this, is that we have an opportunity to bring back what has been lost. And in our culture, you'll find that there are things about us that connect directly with the earth. Not just biblically, but how we feed ourselves, how we build, and what we do with the things that we do from the earth. It's all a part of our complete makeup. And lastly but not least, it's our health that we're really trying to get to here. I just found out just the other day, and this has nothing to do with this meeting except for the fact that I just found out, and I don't want you to feel bad or anything, that my son has been labeled to have a tumor that is cancerous. Okay, I just found this out just the other day. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, and so that could have raised all type of seriousness and distraught and the feeling of what am I going to do and all of these things. And none of that really came to me. I am very concerned. I am very concerned. It is something that we know is a killer, okay? But not in my book. It's not the way I'm looking at it. I'm looking at there is a possibility that we can handle this in a way that is curable through the things that are designed that come from the earth. And so this is not a sad time for us. It's a time for us to enjoy and test some things out and see if there's any other way that we can live and do things that have a direct connection to life. And our food system and the ground and gardening does that. And so that was the speech that I had come up with when I was sitting down this morning. I don't know how it came about, but it seems to me that this is all by design. Meaning each and every one of you, we all have a piece of a relationship and a network that is connected outside of me. We all have someone that we know that may have a need. We all know that we need to have sustainable food. So that being the case, why not do something about it? So we're not fighting against anything. Yes, sir.
That's not me. Okay?
You said I'm done?
Yeah.
Okay, so what?
Hey, okay, questions or comments?
Yeah, I've got a question.
Okay.
So what are you asking of Pinch?
Okay, so this is what I'm asking to Pinch. We wanted to know, and this is what we're trying to do, that we could lead the way to ceremonial harmony, which Pinch is all about. And so what we did was try to come up, we would like to come up with an event that Pinch puts on. I'll help advise it and help do all the things that need to be done to make sure we get the construction done. I would like for Pinch to nominate someone to say, listen, we'd like to have a sanctuary garden, or like push and nominate that person. We'll go in and get them nominated, have them be a part of this and start constructing whatever the size of garden that we're going to do for that particular person, but the involvement, the support, the desire to say, we really would like to see someone, one of the schools, one of the other churches, or some type of place that needs something like this.
All right, thank you.
I got another
all right,
question.
yeah, go ahead.
Will it cost Pinch anything?
It is not going to cost Pinch $1. What we're going to do is not only raise the awareness about it, but the event is going to raise money for this as well. Now, there are government grants, USDA grants that we already know are out there, and we're going to be pushing for those grants, especially when it comes to the schools that already have some type of gardening system in them. But the main thing is, no, Pinch will not have to raise any money. They won't have to do anything. What we're doing is using our networks together and talking to our communal friends and having them be a part of this and to raise the awareness about it.
All right, thank you. Any other questions? All right, does anyone have a motion to concern participating or not participating at this time in an event to raise money for community garden?
We don't have to raise money, he said. He
Okay,
didn't
well,
listen.
you guys should have an event.
No, he wants our support.
We said he wanted to do an event,
Right, but it wouldn't cost any money.
not necessarily
Yeah.
money.
I make a motion that Rich come back next month with a detailed plan, a time management plan, spelling out exactly what it would entail if we were to nominate. And what kind of entity are you talking about nominating?
It could be
Because we can nominate anybody we want, but they have to be in agreement with it.
exactly, and that's where I already